want to ask about Senegal. Obviously, pre-tournament favorites for the bookmakers anyway, and a lot of big names. And specifically Sadio Mane, because he had this head injury. I pick up the paper here, and it's all about, I'm not saying concussions aren't important, but there's a sense, concussion protocol, are they following it? They're in Africa, blah, blah, blah.
They should not have stayed on pitch, full stop.
I want to get your take on that because, and again, we've seen this happen. It's not just an African thing. We've seen players want to stay on the pitch and so on. And there's always the question of, remember the 2018 World Cup was it Uruguay? Or it was 2014, I don't know, I forget, I get old, where the Uruguayan team toucher, I think it was Alvaro Pereira, I think it was, or Alvaro
Yeah, that rings a bell.
Comes on the pitch and he's like, the guy's clearly wiped out, he's looking at him like, he's flying, keep playing. I mean, is this a thing? Has this been a talking point? Is it something that people should be worried about? Jules says he shouldn't have stayed on the pitch. What's your take? I mean, do you agree with Dr. Lawrence, MD, who gave Sadio Mane a full examination pitch side?
Yeah, I completely agree with Dr. Lawrence. I think as soon as he goes down and his head hits the turf, like that's not a player who should be competing at that level of sport in the next few hours, let alone the next 7 minutes. And okay, so Sadio Mane then scored the goal in the kind of immediate aftermath of that incident, and then was replaced. I wouldn't have let him get back on the pitch, and there was no way. I mean, Cape Verde goalkeeper Vozinha was harder hit, both literally and figuratively, and he was. He kind of, there was no doubt that he was not going to go back on the pitch, even if he tried. But Cape Verde were very quick to take him off. He then was sent off, so it became a moot point. But there's no way Mane should have been.
Why are Senegal not firing on all cylinders? I mean, one obvious thing that was raised to me by one scout who's there right now, he said these teams, especially a lot of the bigger teams, they have a lot of stars, but they've had no time to prepare because they arrived late. They didn't have the pre-tournament friendlies or the training camp that you have. They just kind of went out on the pitch. Everybody's gunning for them as well.
I know, but this team has been playing together for a long time. It's the same. They reached the final 3 years ago. This is the same coach. This should not be an excuse of, they didn't have time to prepare. They know each other well enough to be playing better than this.
But they're still playing differently than the way they play at club level, right? It's still people coming
together. It's the same for every national team.
Okay, so Jules thinks it's a lame excuse. Is it a lame excuse, Ed? I'm asking the question.
Yeah.
Well, I think the fact they've been playing together for a long time, actually, maybe that's obviously helps them defensively. It helps them in terms of organisation and optimism, but it hasn't helped them find creativity. This was a problem for them in the past because there is, if a midfield of Kouyaté, Idrissa Gueye, and Nampalys Mendy, with Idrissa Gueye as the most creative of that midfield three. There's only so much you're going to get from that. And I think with Mane on the left, once you move Mane into a 10, and then you sacrifice one of those defensive midfielders, which I don't think Aliou Cissé will do. He loves defensive midfielders. Yeah. I think that's going to be a problem for Senegal.
Yeah.
But also they played their first two matches at 2:00, which I think can't be underestimated because the heat at 2:00 here compared to what you have at 5, compared to what you have at 8:00, it's completely different. Here, 8:00 here last night was 24 degrees, whereas 2:00 can be 35 degrees when Senegal, 36 when Senegal were playing. So it's maybe understandable that in those opening games against Guinea and against Zimbabwe, they weren't firing on all cylinders.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.